Hey y'all, it's your girl Jada J. Obviously, as you can see, I need to be going to get my hair done. Anyway, moving on. So I will be doing shoutouts at the end of this video because I told y'all last week, and I'm kind of late. I'm not, but kind of. All right. So this was a good episode, y'all. There wasn't really a lot of scenes, but the scenes that we got, there was a lot of dialogue going on, and we needed everything. Of course, it was a good episode, and Eddie, I'm declaring it now, is gay. That's it. Now, we gonna say why at the end, okay, but we have to wait. Now, and I'm really not sure, but gosh dang it, I'm declaring it. If he's not, thank God. You know what? I really don't want the Eddie character to be gay. But at this point, there's only so much you can deny. So, and same thing with the other white guys on this show. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. And no, but that black guy, Ricky too? Rick, Mom. My mom is calling on you. Mom, I'm reviewing. But wait, Mom, are you coming across the camera? Are you coming, Mom? Thanks, Mom. Okay, so moving on from that's not the point. It's not the point, and I'm really not sure, but whatever. Anyway, so this was a good episode. And by the way, I'm sorry because I haven't even gotten into it yet, and we just talking. Esperanza, or should I say enchilada? Oh yeah, because y'all know I was like the only reviewer actually calling her by her name because everybody else hates her. But I tried to give Esperanza a break. But now, gosh dang it, she's an enchilada, and I'm over her. And I'm going to get to that, too. Alright, let's go. Let's go ahead. Okay, so we open up right where we left off last week. You know, yes, I did it. I killed him. Alright, so we opened up there. So Steven is like, oh, so you killed him? And Brad was like, no. He was like, come on, man, clear your conscience. It's okay. Just, where are they at? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He was like, you just said you killed them. He was like, and then it was silence. He was like, I did. Then he was like, I don't understand what you're talking about. He was like, I said, wait a minute, because this was kind of confusing. It took me a minute to get it. He was like, I said I didn't kill her child. And he was like, what? Like, Steven didn't understand what he was talking about. He was like, but what happened? And he was like, just because of things that happened in Iraq, that don't make me a murderer. And he was like, what? So then Brad was like, we didn't know there was children in there. We were just obeying orders. Like, I didn't know. And that doesn't make me a murderer. And he was like, Brad, they're going, well, we not talking about, the war or nothing like that. And he was like, then what are you talking about? He was like, you know what I'm talking about? He was like, well, I didn't kill her child. So, no, you can't even be telling me nothing. And he was like, we're talking about Randall specifically. And he was like, don't mention his name to me. And he was like, why? Does that make you mad? He was like, yeah, that makes me mad. And he was like, why? He was like, because he's the reason why I'm here. He's the reason why I'm being interrogated. If it wasn't for him and Alex cheating, we would never be here. And then so he's like, he was like, huh, you know what? That's actually pretty strange. And he goes, what's strange? He was like, you haven't asked about your wife since you've been here. He was like, what about her? He was like, she's missing. He goes, is she? And then he's like, yeah. He goes, was she kidnapped? And he goes, you tell me, Brad. And he's like, no, you need to tell me because I don't even know what's going on here. He was like, no, she wasn't. But she is out looking for her baby and her lover. And she's mighty worried, trying to spark him up, pretty much trying to spark him up. So then, wait a minute, let me see if this is the part. Yep, so and when he did that, he was like, she's mighty worried. Brad leaned over, he was like, wow, you son of a witch. And he's hemming him up, he's got him like this. And so Steven is like, come on, oh yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. I want that anger, man. I want that rage. Sugary? Huh? Sugar, anyone? I like a little sugar in my coffee. It was sugary. Gosh dang it was sugary. I'm over it. For the Jedi, it might have been a spritzer, but for me, it was sugary. Sugary. Anyway, so this is actually where we cut to commercial. We come back, and Brad is pacing around the room, so he's like, oh, come on, big guy. He was like, it looks like you want to confess something, like, you know what I'm saying, just tell me what's up. So then he was like, nah, I'm not saying anything. He was like, oh, really? You're saying that, yet you keep talking. He was like, come on, man. Are you a man of faith? He goes, that in the Bible it says confession is good. Confession cleanses the soul. He was like, no, it doesn't. He was like, you know the Bible? He was like, no. I'm not saying anything to you anymore. Like, I want a lawyer or I'm not talking. He was like, oh, really? Are you sure? Because it looks like you have something you want to say. He was like, nope, I'll say it to you and that camera. I'm not talking to anybody without a lawyer. He was like, so you can charge me, put me in handcuffs, whatever you're going to do. I'm not talking anymore. He was like, are you sure? Because I'm just trying to help you. He was like, you're not trying to help me. You're trying to convict me. So cut the bullet and stop trying to talk to me like I'm stupid, because I will run up on... Oh, that wasn't put in? I'm hearing that was... Oh, that's for the movie that's coming. That's for the movie that's coming out. I wasn't even supposed to say there was a movie coming. Never mind. Anyway, there's no movie. So he was like, yeah, just do what you need to do. And he was like, man, nobody would blame you for wanting to, kill the guy or whatever. And he's like, nah, man, nah. You know what I'm saying? He was like, messing with he was like, wait a minute. He was like, the man next door. And so he really tries to go in on him. He was like, it don't bother you that your wife is messing with the black man next door? He was like, what does that matter? He was like, oh, come on, man. Your wife cheating with the dude next door, that don't bother you? He was like, it don't matter that he's black. He was like, we all say that so they get a little too close to somebody we love. And he was like, you're sick. He was like, no, I think you are. And I think you should just tell me. You know what I'm saying? I think you need to tell me what's going on. So, like I said, he was like, I'll say it again. Like, I'm not going to talk to nobody without a lawyer. And he was like, huh, that's pretty sad. The DA probably would have took it easy on you if you would have gave us a confession. Tried to guilt trip him, did nothing. So Steven is outie. So Rick the Coon comes up. Okay, the black guy, Sugary. He sees Steven coming out. So he's like, man, did he break yet? Like, did you get a confession? So he's like, nah, man, not yet. He was like, man, then I guess it's over. The baby's gonna die or whatever. And Steven was like, man, don't give up so easily. He was like, you want me to talk to him? He was like, nah. He wants a lawyer now, so it's pointless. Because he told him, he was like, go stand in there. He was like, you want me to question him? He was like, nah, just stand there. Seeing a new face might piss him off. He was like, oh, you're trying that race card thing. Sorry, y'all, excuse my language. He was like, oh, you're just trying you're trying to pull the race card. He was like, only when it counts, man. The fact that you were cool with him pulling the race card, and you knew it, you're a coon. You shouldn't be okay with being used as a prop or a toy. We're over that. It's another thing to be, how cops do that, the little good cop, bad cop. One of them is like, man, cool it. Like, you don't gotta be yelling at him like that. Then the other one is like, no, this 600 of weed needs to be locked up for the rest of his life. And it's good cop. It's another thing, but you wasn't even in the room. You told me to go in there to piss him off because he might be racist and he's not. But you're trying to... And I know that you're pulling the race card, so I say, oh man, you trying to pull that race card? Like, that's a good one right there. That's good. We're over you too, Rick. So he's like, only when I need it, man. Then he's like, alright, man, I'm gonna call the DA. He like, alright, over it. Then we switch to Marcy. Okay, so Kelly is talking to Marcy, and she's like, what do you think is happening to Brad right now? She's like, I don't know. Then Esperanza's like, well, we don't need to question it anymore. Brad is in question. They did bring Brad in for questioning, and he's not talking anymore until he gets the lawyer. So Marcy's like, oh my gosh, like, he must have did it then, because, oh my gosh. So then Esperanza's telling her, she's like, no, girl, pretty much, this scene went kind of long. We needed everything, but I don't want to prolong it. She's telling Marcy to calm down, like, just because he wants a lawyer don't mean he did it, because you could easily be railroaded by the system. Pretty much, they be having you admit to stuff you ain't even do. Because they be making you, oh, that is a good reason to do it, but I didn't, you know what I'm saying? You be, oh, dang, that could have been, you know what I'm saying? But you really didn't do it. So you gotta wait a minute, I didn't do it, you know what I'm saying? So she's like, if you don't want to be railroaded by the system, we need him to get a lawyer. Kelly is like, I think that means he guilty. I said Kelly. Please. So Esperanza's like, Kelly, she's like, what, girl? Like, if he's innocent, why can't he answer all their questions? Esperanza's like, well, you know how the cops work, especially at our precinct. They looking for anybody. They looking for a bone to pick up because that's just what they want. They're looking for they're trying to get clues anywhere they can find them. And at one point, so she goes, I don't think Brad did it. Like, I know I've been back and forth, Marcy. She's like, I know I've been back and forth, but I don't think he did it. So Kelly's like, now you think you're wrong. And Esperanza's like, then who do you think could have done it? She was like, I don't know. Somebody who hates the situation as much as me. As much as all of us do. And she was like, see? And she looks at Kelly. She goes, see what I mean? She was like, you just incriminated yourself. She was like, what are you talking about? I didn't do it. She was like, honey, I know. But listen. She was like, when you can't just go going around throwing stuff around like that. Like, that's incriminating yourself. Like, you get like, I didn't like how she was over the top about it or over it. Remember with the back in the day when she was on the phone with Alex on a 911 call and Alex said something, I can't remember what it was. And Esperanza was like, you know you're on a recorded line. You know that, right? I'm over it. She already said it. So it was a little too late because now you going to look bad because you just told her, you know you're on a recorded. I mean, you could read somebody their rights. So I guess that wouldn't put you, I don't know. it would probably make them think she knew. Anyway, I'm over it. But, so she's like, I didn't do it or anything. She's like, honey, we know that, but I'm just saying, like, they looking for anything, even if you didn't do it. She goes, and especially with our precinct. And Marcy was like, what do you mean by that? She was like, look, all I'm saying is, they looking for anything. So she goes, our best bet is for Brad to get a lawyer, especially if he's innocent. Okay? So, then they start going into, she goes, how could my thoughts be so wrong about this? Like, I don't know. She was like, how could I be in love with, like, no, she goes, how could I love two men and then just be wrong about the both of them? She's saying, what if Brad did do it? Then Randall effed up her whole marriage. Like, I didn't expect this from either one of them. So she like, I love two men and this, that. So they was like, what? And then finally one of them said it out loud because they both gave each other that look. And Esperanza goes, wait a minute, you love two men? She goes, you love Brad? She's like, yep. And then Kelly is like, how did you know? Like, how do you know that? And she's like, I didn't until tonight, like, being scared, like, maybe he did do it, maybe he about to get locked away. And Kelly is like, you know how she does that thing where it's kind of like, shut up, Kelly, because you are judging. And people tell me I do that. Anyway, but, so Marcy goes, do not judge me, Kelly. And she's like, I'm not judging, I'm just saying, that's a lot. So then it gets into this whole thing, and I'm going to kind of probably try and stop there, where they pretty much just saying, wait a minute. Oh yeah, she tells her, she goes, I talked to him, I know he didn't do it. Wait, when did you talk to him? Oh, when I was in the bathroom sobbing, I called him, he picked up, and we were talking, I could hear it in his voice that he didn't do it. So she's like, how could my life end up like this? Like, how does this happen? How could two people bring so much H into hockey sticks? How could two people create all this? Like, we're all mixed up in it now. And so then Kelly goes, we all have some blame in this. And she's like, what are you saying? She was like, and Esperanza she's just saying, Kelly goes, I'm just saying that you did sleep with her husband as well. So didn't really appreciate that. I mean, okay, but what are you trying to do? Like, they don't have the same amount of fault. They don't. So let us not try and do, they both wrong, okay, because I expected more from Marcy. But let us not try and say, oh, they both need to just apologize equally, because that's not right. That's whatever. So, and then she says, me and Esperanza are wrong too, about trying to be politically correct and not trying to come for you or Alex in the jugular, because we could have, and it was kind of high society and we're above you. It didn't equate. I was over it. But, so, then Esperanza's like, I wish we go back to the play dates and the barbecues and the fun times. Again, it seemed like she was lapsing into talking about her and Eddie. Because then at one point, Marcy ain't got no kids. Because then at one point, Marcy goes, I never went to the play dates. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I just meant simpler times. Sometimes you could tell she does that thing where it's going back into the relationship with Eddie. I mean, I was fine with it until tonight. And we're going to get into that. Anyway, so then, this is where the name of the episode comes from. The wages of sin bring death. No, wait a minute. Yeah, means simply. The wages of sin is death. And she was like, Kelly said, my mama used to say that, and I finally give it a means. Esperanza's like, girl, what are you talking about? And why would you say that right now? And Marcy is like, she's saying that when you do a bad thing, it deserves death. So you think Randall's dead, huh? You think he's dead? She goes, no, girl, that's not even what I'm saying. She was like, I'm saying that when you do a bad thing, death comes upon the good things around us. Like, it kills everything good that we have. She was like, you see, it started off with Randall and Alex, and now Brad, a possibly innocent man, is in there, and he's being interrogated. He's at the station. You're sitting here crying. We're all mixed up in it. So that's what she was saying. And then, so they hugged it out. She was like, girl, I'm going to go to the station. And Esperanza's like, I'm going to go see what's up. And then she goes, Kelly, can you walk me to my car? Bam. They go outside. Esperanza tells Kelly, I think that it was Alex's parents who were involved. Because she's telling Kelly, she's like, think about it. And Kelly's like, what are you talking about? She was like, remember, she kept saying, remember the day? Remember the day was getting on my nerve. I don't know. It was just, it was on my last nerve. She kept being like, remember the day that Marcy said the witch next door and we all thought it was you? And she goes, yeah. She was like, and then she's like, remember the day we were at Alex's house and she said she would be willing to do anything to protect her son? And she was like, yeah. She was like, well, until now I didn't know what degree she meant. And she was like, remember the day she told us that she was out in the backyard? What was she doing in the backyard so late? And said, I'm like, it really was like she was connecting dots, but she was wrong about the backyard thing, because she was like, well, do you think she was back there helping them? So, which was good, because if it would have been spot on, I would have been like, Tyler, not believable. It lacks Believe me, that's what I had to do for Tyler. I don't know how she get everything dead on, Tyler, so appreciated how that was faulty. So, Kelly is saying when she said, you know, remember the day we thought the witch next door was you, she was like, okay, she was like, okay, so where do you get that her parents are involved just by that? She was like, girl, come on. Who hates the situation just as much as everybody else does? And who, do you think, remember, she was like, remember, Randall was going to summon to Alex to court the next day, and he was going, and she don't have no money. She was like, girl, come on, hello. It was him, it was her parents. Like, come on, you don't think she would have did it? And she was like, okay, if she did do it, then you gotta go to the police. She was like, no, girl, I gotta make sure I got all my facts in line, or else, because what if she didn't do it, then what? She was like, but if she did do it, girl, this is even worse than we thought, because then she gonna be an accessory to murder. She was like, because she knows her parents are, she knows her parents are racist. What did she call them out there? She goes, remember the day Randall was at Alex's house and her parents came by and how they reacted to him? Like I said, remember the day was on my last name. No, girl, I don't remember the day, night, morning, or anything like that. I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? So, Kelly is saying, girl, if you think all this, you need to tell the police. So she's like, no, like I said, what if I'm wrong? What if she didn't do this? And she was like, girl, I don't know. She was like, all right, but I'm going to figure it out. So then she sees Eddie and goes up to, again, I was already annoyed by that because I could at least have some respect for a woman who says, yes, I know my ex does some BS, but I still care about him, and just I could respect you for being honest about it. And even saying he's a disrespectful mother effer, but for some reason, I keep being the dumb one and going back to him. And just caring about it. I mean, it's not really dumb to care about somebody. If she not technically going back to him, just keep it 100 and say, I still think my ex has some good in him, so I still try to deal. Just keep it 100. Because even though you look kind of stupid because we're over him, I have more respect for you just keeping it 100. Don't try to give us, oh, you're definitely over him, but you're clearly not. So anyway, she goes up to the car, and they have their little argument conversation like they always have. And she goes up and is like, do you know where her parents live? And she goes, you know which way Alex would go? He was like, yeah, let me see. You just drive down Hillbilly Road, take a left on Hick Idiot Street, and you're right there. I was like, kill him. It was funny, but I hated it because it was from him and I was over it. So she was like, come on, man, like, you're not going to help? Like, come on, dude. Like, what's the problem? So he's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, I don't know where her hoe ancestors go. I'm sorry. And so he's like, what do I look like? Whole GPS? And she's like, come on, man. Like, you know this is your family, right? He's like, yeah. And what does that have to do with anything? She was like, I think that your aunt and uncle took the baby. And he was like, oh, really? Like, being sarcastic. Why would you think they would do that? And she was like, because you know the racist. He was like, I mean, Uncle Rusty doesn't have a lot of black friends, but I don't know if he's a racist. I said, kill Eddie. Just chucking knives. I had that scene in and Tyler took it out. So then she was like, I don't know why I try to get these little pieces of humanity out of you. Girl, why do you? It's not, and it's just, if you're trying to help somebody anyway, because we know at some point he told her that his life was effed up, and he told her he had a drug problem, but with drug addicts, it's you need to be on it quick, because once a drug addict tell you they got a problem and they want to fix it, if you wait the next day, they might be like, oh, did I say I was giving up drugs? I don't remember that. So when he told you, if you were going to help him, that time has already passed, because you're not doing anything. You're just arguing with him, which does nothing. And it just does nothing. So if that's her thing, I'm trying to help him, you're going about it wrong because you're not doing anything. Like I said, all you're doing is the teasing. First of all, you're coming up to him with tight clothes on. You know how he is. And then you try to talk to him like he's capable of that. He's not. He's a drug addict. He's got PTSD with a list of he's just a douchebag on top of both of those things. So that's not going to work. You know, he's incapable. And at one point she even said, you are so impossible to deal with. And he was like, yeah, you've been saying that for years. Like, it is what it is. So even he was telling her, okay, and you keep saying the same thing. Like, and what? Like, nothing changes. So then and then she goes, if this baby dies, it's all your fault because you're not trying to be serious. And he was like, no, if the baby dies, you said it's my fault. No, it's their fault. Because Randall and Alex were having an affair for months and months at a time for God knows how long. And she was like, you want to talk about adultery when you cheated on your wife multiple times? And this is where she's enchilada now because he goes, that's what you're going to say to me? He was like, the main person I was cheating with when I was married was you. And I was like, what? Like, she's enchilada. She's enchilada. Because the one thing I always appreciated about her was, okay, she would tease him, which would still get on my nerve, and she'll act like she don't know she's doing it. Girl, you even standing there in tight clothes is annoying. Because you know how he is. So just put a robe on her over the pants. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so, yeah, we find out tonight now I know why Yolanda hated her, because I was like, Yolanda's just that wife who just doesn't, she's mad that he has an ex. Like, you knew what you got when you were with him. You know he had a daughter with her. But now I understand why she didn't like, girl, she probably knew you was sleeping with her man at some point and maybe was still doing it. So, forget the enchilada now. I'm over her. And then, I don't appreciate it. So, yeah, he was like, the main person I was cheating with was you. And then, so she was like, yeah, and I'm paying for that, like, it's never gonna happen again. He was like, never say never, baby. You know that thing though, he tries to deepen his voice, it does nothing for me at all. Just so you guys, it does nothing for me. Anyway, this is going to be really long, you guys. I apologize. I just spent forever ranting. Anyway, so long story short, he said, I'm gonna think about it. And she was like, oh, don't worry, I'll go to the real police. He was like, oh, you gonna go to the real police? And she was like, you understand that baby? He was like, you girls are so sensitive about this baby. He said, please go. Appreciated it. Somebody needed to end the conversation that was going nowhere. So then, goes back to talk to Kelly. He hears Kelly say something because he goes, you're so cute when you're mad talking to Esperanza. Kelly is like, Eddie, what is wrong with you? Like, you're sick. He was like, don't you understand your life's about to go into a bad bounce if you don't close your mouth? Who says that? She said, I'm not scared of you. He was like, yeah, but you keep running these guys off. You gotta be one heck of a scary person that keeps sending these black dudes to Utah. She was like, he said that because that motherfucker left, he got a sign on the door and everything. Went to give her a hug. I'm over it. And he was up out of there. Alright. I'm over it. Over it. And the reason he said he was there, because she asked him, oh, I need to check on our only eyewitness, talking about Miss Louise. Okay, so, we're over Eddie. Okay. So then we switch to Alex. She just got out the car with the guy. He dropped off where she needed to be. Said, I hope you're safe. You sure you don't want me to call anybody? No, I'm good. Bam. That's what we got with Alex. Okay. Then we switch to Pete at the hospital. So he's trying to get up. The nurse comes in. No, you need to lay down. You need to lay down. He's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. And she's like, you still have a bullet lodged in your chest. I'm like, and then so he's like, I'm fine. She's like, no, the only reason you even feel fine is because you're on those pain meds. Like, you can't move. So he's like, come on. Like, I'm trying to get up. Like, what is your problem? So she's like, if you don't listen, I'm going to have to call the doctor, and he's not as nice as I am. And he's like, who's that guy? And she was like, that's your protection. He was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, you'll have to ask him. She was like, because you were shot. And he was like, shot by who? She was like, you got to ask him. He was like, okay, I will. And she was like, no, not right now. You need to lay down. And he was like, come on. And she was like, if you don't lay down, I'm going to call the doctor. So he lays down. Bam. Okay. So he starts dreaming. So the whole scene with him being shot at, he sees the guys who shot him. And as he's dreaming, and he sees that when he was getting shot, he was calling for Ben, and Ben was standing there watching him be shot. So he wakes up like, oh snap, like that was a badass dream, you know what I'm saying? Calls Lou. Lou's like, this is not a good time. He was like, wait a minute, Lou, like, I remember who shot me. He was like, wait a minute, what? He was like, yeah. He was like, who shot you? He was like, it was a gang of guys, and Ben just watched. He was like, what else do you remember? He was like, I remember Ben was watching me and I need to get out of here. He was like, no, man, no, just calm down. He was like, no, man, there's a guy out here and I know for a fact he's working for Eddie. And he was like, no, man, he's not. He's like, everybody works for Eddie. They gonna come back and finish me off. Like, he was like, no, they're not. He was like, come on, man, I'm good. And he was like, you're good. He was like, how do you know? He was like, it's FBI. He was like, what? He was like, nah, man, I gotta get. He was like, man, I'm telling you, it's FBI. Somebody sent him for you. He was like, who? He was like, look, man, don't worry about it. You're fine. And he was like, Pete, what do you remember about the tape? He was like, tape? What tape? And he just kept doing it because, he's still foggy. And so he was like, oh, yeah, the convenience store tape. He was like, I gave it to Natalie. He was like, okay, and was there another one? He was like, yep, I gave it to the captain. So he's like, what did the captain say? He was like, the captain was like, he was going to take care of it. And that's when I got sent to the south side. That's where I got shot. And he was like, oh, okay. He's like, okay, for now you need to relax. He's like, man, relax. I need to get up out of here. Like, I need to go. Like, what are you talking about? Relax. He was like, man, calm down. You're okay. Everything is fine. Like, I swear, nobody gonna hurt you. You're fine. He was like, but how, are you sure? Are you sure? He's like, yeah. So appreciated that trust he had for Lucian. Because just Lucian telling him, man, I'm sure you good. He took his word and was like, and Lucian was like, I'm gonna come over later to check on you. He was like, you sure, man? He like, yeah. He like, all right, they get off the phone. All right. So then we switch back to Ben. No, wait a minute. We didn't even see Ben. Wait. No, yeah. I don't know why I put Ben here. We switched back to Pete. Because Lucian goes up to Natalie after they get off the phone. And Natalie is like, you got a lot of phone calls. Like, are you sure you don't need to go to work? He's like, no, I'm fine. I'm here with you. I'm with you. Then we switch back to Pete. And she goes, okay, you're not listening. The freaking nurse comes in and, like, forces a freaking sedative into his IV. And so he's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what is that? She was like, the doctor is going to be really mad. He's not even here. And he's going to be, like, really mad if I have to, like, call him when he's, like, at home trying. Okay, she didn't do it. He's going to be mad if I have to call him at home. She was like, and you're not listening. So he's like, wait a minute, what's that? What's that? And she was like, it's just something to help you sleep. He was like, sleep. And he's like, no, I can't sleep. What are you talking about? She was like, sure you can. Got on my nerve because she said it again when he paged her on the freaking thing when fake ASSA came in and some questionable scenes next week that I'm questioning. I'm thinking he's gay. I don't know because all the guys could be gay except for Lucian. So everybody's sugary. Everybody. Brad even did a little, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. So he's like, no, please, I can't sleep. And she just leaves up out of there like, yes, you can. Then we switch back to Lou and Nat. She's like, we've been waiting here a long time. The pill's starting to wear off. He's like, need to get you another one? She's like, no, I need to find out what's happening with Joey. And he's like, all right, just calm down. So then she sees, and the doctor came to these two people and tells them that one of their family members has died. And she's like, look at them. And he's like, okay, calm down. So the doc comes over to them and she's like, what is it? He goes, Miss Blackman? She goes, Miss Henning, I'm Joey's mother. And so he's like, standing there. She's like, just tell me. He was like, look, there's less than a 12% chance he's going to make it. And she's like, she goes like, but there is a chance. He's like, I wouldn't get my hopes up. That was kind of getting on my nerve. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but so then she was like, if he recovers, how long will it take him? He was like, well, we don't think. She goes, if he recovers, how long is it? When he recovers, how long is it going to take? He was like, if he recovers, and kept stressing the word, that was getting on my nerve. He was like, it could take months, or he might not even recover at all. And she was like, so if he makes it through the night, he was like, that's a big if. She was like, so you don't even think he's going to make it through the night? He was like, she was like, that's okay, go ahead and tell me. He was like, no ma'am, I don't. And so Lucian, like, asked him something else. He was like, so, what did Lucian ask him something? He was like, oh yeah, you're giving him the best care, right? Oh yeah, because when he kept doing that thing, like, if he recovers, and, he kept saying, I don't think, and Lucian was like, if he recovers, how long would that take? And so, then, he's like, man, but I need to ask you a question, and, Lucian goes, thank you, like, we'll talk to you, And so Natalie is like, what do you have to ask me? Wait, hold on, what do you have, Natalie, don't get out my face, what do you have to ask me? So he goes, Lucian tells her, he's going to ask you about organ donation. OG Lou, and he was right. She goes, is that what you're going to ask me? He goes, yes, ma'am. Your son was pretty healthy otherwise, and his organs could save a lot of lives. Several, he said. And she goes, several? How many? And he goes, 12. At this hospital alone. And she goes, any black kids on that list? He's like, excuse me? She said, on the list, are there any black kids? He was like, I'm not sure. She goes, you need to find out. So then the solution is trying to be like, Natalie. She's like, no. And she was like, because I don't know what's going on around here, but if I find out you're not trying to save my son because he's black and you're trying to get all these rich white kids saved, that's going to be a problem. So Lucian was like, that's okay, doctor. Go ahead. Don't, she's fine. And he was like, excuse me. It got on my nerve. And she was like, no, it's a heck with him. And Lucian was like, don't blame him. Like, he doing his job. He would have had to deliver the news anyway. And then so he tells her, I guess he was right. A couple things I didn't like about him, but whatever. So he tells her, look, like, I'm not saying Joey's going to die because he's not. He was like, but we are going to consider organ donation because you know how many military buddies I had that died because they couldn't get an organ donated? He was like, come on. Like, she was like, all right, man, just give me a pass. I get it now. I was just upset. And he was like, I am giving you a pass, man. Like, just, I'm just a little upset or whatever. He was like, okay, I'm just trying to educate you. I'm trying to tell you. He was like, it don't matter if they're black or white. If you can save a life, then do it. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, okay, I get what you mean. I just got upset. And he was like, all right. So then she goes, and he didn't even tell me if I can go and see him. He was like, I'll ask him. He was like, no. I'll do it. Then he goes, no, man, I got it. And she goes, no, just give me some space, all right? I need to go talk to him, all right? Just give me some space. And he was like, okay, I'll give you your space. Then, so we switched to Pete. Last scene of the night, y'all, I think. Yeah. We switched to Pete, and he's sitting over there, and he's falling asleep, so he pages the nurse, the little button. And she goes, yes, and he goes, I'm falling asleep. And she's like, yeah, I see that. And he was like, I can't fall asleep. She was like, sure you can. Oh, my gosh. So then he was like, I can't fall asleep. She was like, yes, you can. She was like, good night. And then he was like, no, I can't fall asleep. Please. And she already left the page, whatever. Then who comes in? Eddie. So Pete is foggy as heck, just, no, please, Eddie, no. And he's just, shh, man, you need to get some rest. You need to get some rest. So, long story short, it ends like that, pretty much. No, I'm sorry that I lied. That was not the last scene. And he's just telling him, Eddie's just telling him, you need to get some rest. Like, it's okay, shh, whatever. Then we switch to Randall. And he's in the box. Y'all know he's still in the box. No, not my son. Let me out. So all you hear is, let me hold him or something. Let me hold him. He's like, is somebody there? Is somebody there? Not my son. Let me out. And mind you, he's got blood all over his face. And then so they're like, I got this side. Next thing they picked him up and then he was like, right here, and they threw him down. So then he's like, no, let me out. Straight out of Kill Bill, like I told you. Let me out. They open the thing and he goes, let me pop, and they hit him right over the head with a shovel. He was knocked out. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got nothing on Rocky. Rocky ain't got nothing on him. He was knocked out. You know what I'm saying? I said he was knocked out. Oh my gosh, he was knocked out. But I'll tell you this. Eddie, what they tease for next week, I don't know what to think about it. Because it could be very, just a power thing. Because you know how sometimes people, after a victim has died, they'll kiss them on the forehead and be like, you could have lived, or some bullcrap, like a mob boss or something like that. Or they'll just kiss them on the head like, you shouldn't have been so dumb. And it's like a gangster thing though, but I don't know why you kissing people on the forehead. I always thought that was a little sugary. Not in this sense. Just you can kiss another dude on the head. It really don't matter. But I'm saying, okay, so next week it teased that Pete, he's holding Pete's chest down first of all, because he's trying to tell me what you know. I hope I'm not spoiling anybody. And he, does this, across Pete's chest. And then all you see is him lean down and he's kissing Pete on the forehead. It looked borderline rape for me. And I don't know how to look at it. I don't know, because Tyler's been throwing us hints with all the guys on the show except Lucian. Everybody is gay. Like I told you, I don't know. Even the women. I just don't know. Anyway, so let me get to the shout-outs that I definitely wrote down. See, they're right here. You see? Yes, I'm gonna look at this page because there are names on it. Oh, yes. Is that, Diva Queen. Hello, Diva. Diva is one of my newest people, and she's been watching me faithfully since she's been on, and I appreciate you, Diva. And you call me Princess. appreciate it. I ain't nothing compared to you, Queen. I appreciate you. Seeing your comments is always one of my highlights. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you this week. I hope you see this. I know this is gonna be long. Rel C, what's up? My main man, Rel C, been with me since the very beginning. Since I had that tacky web camera I was using, Rel C been rocking with me. And he says Steven is a member of the Illuminati, y'all. I'm listening to Rel, I think it's him. And he just reminded me that Quan and Claudia are cousins. So that's a whole new angle, because her brother is dead. We don't really know what their relationship was like. We know she ain't talked to her mama. So now we gotta see because Claudia is gone, but she gotta come back, right? Because she's still a proponent to the story. I don't know. Anyway, Relsey been rocking with me since the beginning. He's hilarious. He told me that it can't be an Oscar, it has to be an Emmy. Whatever, Rel. Appreciate you, Rel. Thank you so much. I hope to see you in the comments this week. I know I will, actually. And continue watching me. And I'm glad you made it through that Hurricane Matthew, man. It's good to hear from you. My man, Keith Turner. What is up, Keith? What's going on with you? Keith also, but he was one of those who've been with me since I had the Saki web camera, and one of those who never commented on it, because some people were leaving comments about the quality. Appreciate y'all, but they was just watching, they know that's the best I could do at the time. Keith is hilarious. Keith be out there in the comments. Keith don't rock with Eddie either, so that's why me and him is vibing. Don't nobody rock with Eddie. Nobody, let me just clear that up. Nobody rocks with Eddie. But, I had told him that there's something about the actor that I'm sure, I don't know if I met him, would I be able to tune out of the fact that he's not actually Eddie. I feel like if I met that actor, I'd be like, oh, hi. Not on purpose, but it's just a thing. And it was, what was that? When the Jedi was live and we were in the comments. And Keith was like, yeah, I agree with that because I hate the Eddie character so much. And I was like, right. By the way, Rel C calls Esperanza Esmeralda. I'm calling her Enchilada, okay? Because everybody switches names up. But Keith I said Keith C. I'm combining Keith and Rel, y'all. Keith Turner, thank you so much, man. And I know you over there at the Jedi channel, so that automatically made you family, you know. And just like the Jedi said, you're always willing to help somebody out. And I appreciate that because you didn't know who I was. And, you know, you still came to support my channel. Like all of you. So thank you so much. Thank you, Keith. Let me see. Oh, Rodney. Ronnie Harden. Not Rodney. What is wrong with my language, y'all? Ronnie Harden, thank you so much for watching me. She's new. Love the picture, girl. I know that's old now, but I don't know if I ever said it on camera, but love the picture. You look fabulous. Thank you so much for watching me. And by the way, when I took that review down that I did for the Has and Have-Nots a couple months ago, you were one of the people who watched my reasons for taking it down. And you gave me some, I'm not crying, some inspiring words. So I appreciate you, Ronnie, and I hope to see you this week. Who else? Joseph Kerr. I don't know if you're going to see this, but Joseph Kerr is one of my newest subscribers also. He heard about me over the Jedi channel and came to support because he rose with the Jedi. I appreciate that. Yeah, Joseph Kerr came and he don't even watch the show and gave this, excellent commentary and, let me know what was going on. Appreciate you, Joseph. I could tell you a smart dude. I could tell that. And I was vibing. We was vibing, Let me see. Doran Probus. I haven't seen. Oh, I think Doran only watches the Has and Have-Nots. Well, Doran, if you see this, shout out to you. What's that? Taurine came to check me out. Appreciate you, Taurine. I don't want to be forgetting people now. Or that's gonna be a bad look. Frank, I don't want to say your last name because I don't want to butcher it. But Frank also came to check me out over from the Jedi channel, and he tells me he doesn't even watch TV, but he reads and then he'll watch my reviews sometimes. So I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. But overall, I'm just very lucky to have subscribers like you guys, especially people over from the Jedi channel. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for giving me a chance. Rel C, Keith, Ronnie, Diva Queen, Frank, Joseph. Appreciate all y'all. But definitely the ones who've been rocking with me since the beginning. Keith, Rel, Ronnie. I appreciate y'all. Of course, Diva, and all my other people. Thank you guys so much for watching me. Thank you so much. Like I said, I never thought my channel would grow this much. And I really appreciate it, y'all. And hit me back and let me know, could all the dudes except Lucian on the show be gay? Don't do that, y'all. But thank you so much for watching. This show is going up, y'all. By the way, this was called The Wages of Sin. That's where we got the name from. Remember Kelly? I don't know about her. She's kind of messy now. I'm over it. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is your girl. You catch me right here. Signing off. It is your girl, Jada J. No, I don't like that. It's your girl, Jada J. Y'all know the drill. I gotta get to school tomorrow. Peace out. I'm not forgetting anything, am I? I don't think so. Gosh dang it, she's the enchilada. Okay, I'm out. Peace out.